Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into everything you need to know about hamstring strains. Whether you're an athlete or just someone looking to stay active, this video is for you. We'll explore the causes, symptoms, and treatment options for hamstring strains so you can stay informed and take control of your health. Remember, I'm here to simplify these medical concepts and empower you to make the best decisions for your well-being. Let's get started. All right, let's talk about what causes those pesky hamstring strains. You see, your hamstrings are a group of 3 muscles running down the back of your thigh. They're responsible for bending your knee and extending your hip, basically powering you through all sorts of movements. Now, one of the most common culprits is overuse. Imagine pushing your muscles too hard, too fast, without giving them a break. That's a recipe for a strain. It's like that old saying, too much of a good thing. You get the idea. But hey, it's not just about overuse. Sudden movements like sprinting or jumping without properly warming up can also put excessive stress on those hamstrings. And let's not forget about muscle imbalances. If your quads, the muscles at the front of your thigh, are significantly stronger than your hamstrings, it can create a recipe for disaster. So how do you know if you've actually strained your hamstring? Well, your body usually gives you some pretty clear signals. First and foremost, pain is your body's way of saying, hey, something's not right. You might feel a sudden, sharp pain in the back of your thigh, especially during activity. Along with the pain, you might also notice some swelling in the area. Think of it like your body's natural response to injury, sending in the cavalry to help with the healing process. And speaking of healing, bruising is another common sign. It's basically blood leaking from those tiny damaged blood vessels. Now here's the thing. Depending on the severity of the strain, you might experience weakness in your leg, making it difficult to put weight on it or move it normally. And sometimes you might even feel a popping or snapping sensation at the time of injury. Chapter 3, Diagnosis, getting to the bottom of it. Okay, so you suspect you might have a hamstring strain. What's next? Well, the first step is to get a proper diagnosis from a healthcare professional. They'll ask you about your medical history, how the injury happened, and what symptoms you're experiencing. Next up, they'll want to examine you physically. This might involve checking your range of motion, feeling for any tenderness or swelling, and assessing your muscle strength. It's all about getting a clear picture of what's going on. In some cases, your doctor might recommend imaging tests like an ultrasound or an MRI. These tests can help visualize the muscles and tendons in your hamstring and rule out any other potential injuries. Chapter 4, Treatment, getting back on track. Now, let's talk about treatment. The good news is that most hamstring strains can be treated conservatively, meaning without surgery. One of the most effective approaches is the RICE protocol. RICE stands for Rest, Ice, Compression, and Elevation. Rest is crucial in the initial stages of healing, allowing those injured muscles to recover. Ice helps reduce inflammation and pain. Compression, like using a bandage, can help minimize swelling. And finally, elevation helps drain excess fluid and reduce swelling. Your doctor might also recommend over-the-counter pain relievers like ibuprofen or naproxen to manage pain and inflammation. In some cases, physical therapy might be recommended to help you regain strength, flexibility, and range of motion. Chapter 5, Prevention, keeping those hamstrings happy. All right, let's talk about prevention. Because let's be real, preventing an injury is always better than treating one, right? One of the most important things you can do is warm up properly before any physical activity. Think of it like this. You wouldn't run a marathon without stretching your muscles first, right? Warming up helps increase blood flow to your muscles, preparing them for the demands you're about to place on them. In addition to warming up, regular stretching can work wonders for maintaining flexibility and preventing those pesky hamstring strains. Focus on stretches that target your hamstrings, like toe touches and hamstring stretches. Outrow, stay active, stay informed. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more health tips and information. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to your health. By understanding the causes, symptoms, and treatment options for hamstring strains, you can take proactive steps to stay active and injury-free. Stay active and take care.